Hey guys, just want to give an update to how my character's going for the Necro Settlers event. Now, first off, level 86, we've got 7k combined life and energy shield, which is going pretty well. I haven't got my last ascendancy yet, probably going to go Plaguebringer. This is what the passive tree is kind of looking like. Haven't got too much to note here. I've got instant leech alongside the bone barrier, just for the whole bunch of leech there. May end up opting to go Chaos Inoculation and Ghost Reaver, which is a really nice combo with that. But yeah, that's what it's looking like. On the Atlas, I'm about, nearly halfway through. I've just done a bit of scuffed amounts of stuff on the way up to in the yellow maps, particularly on these higher ones. You can currently see I'm using Hatred and Frostbites because I swapped to these Forged Warriors, which I'll get into in a bit. Biggest thing is this 6-link chest armor. I bought it for like 5C. I managed to make it 6-link myself with like 200 fusings. I got pretty lucky on that, so that's really nice. Amulet's looking pretty good. Other than that, it's like I've still got pretty scuffed gear. Like none of this is particularly fantastic. Like the life there is good. I'm betting again if I swap to Chaos Inoculation, not very good. I don't have any plus level of minions skills, so I'm losing out on a lot of potential damage there. But what I've actually been doing all this time is really messing around with different specters because I wanted to do something interesting rather than just the standard Frostbearers, which I'm very tempted to just swap back to. Now, the big thing is I've been trying out a lot of different specters because I want to, get something interesting. So I'm just going to run through some of those right now. So the first set that I went with was, as I previously wanted to get, was the Reapers, which are known as the perfect Dark Reapers from the Rituals. Which is why I've been doing a lot of Rituals, but I wasn't getting any to drop, so I ended up just buying them for about 15C each. And here you can see them like dashing around and doing a bunch of hits and stuff. But honestly, they lacked any sort of single target damage. They had a decent amount of AoE and they would dash around, and it was quite cool. But yeah, they just struggled to kill tougher targets fast. You can see them struggling on a few of the enemies here. And this actually is where I stopped using them because some of them started to die. And I just kind of found them a bit annoying to for any reasonable amount of damage. I was also using the Forged Berserker beasts, which were quite good. Which you can see here. There's a few clips of that same map where the Berserker beasts just kind of going ham, and they kind of just serve their purpose doing these absolutely massive slams. Now, while they were definitely doing a little bit better single target than the Perfect Dark Reapers, they still struggled a little bit. You can see here they're doing pretty good, but as soon as the target starts to move, they just kind of start missing attacks. And here I even had this god-awful experience of watching them trying to kill one of these creates illusions rares in the end of a ritual. Well, not even in the ritual hadn't even started yet. But, these guys are just dropping their slams all over the place and just absolutely struggling with this thing. It took way too long to kill it. And this is basically the point that I decided I needed to use something else because, yikes, this is rough. And I believe it's from this Verisium outcrop that I end up getting some Forged Void Crawlers and messing around with those. Basically from here I went back to the hideout and spent a little while getting all my specters up for the void crawlers, and of course swapping gems around because I needed to go from using melee guys to multi-proj casters. So I put on Greater Volley and put on Spell Echo and then went into my next map, and void crawlers are kind of funny, just a little bit. Oh, I immediately knew they were still going to struggle with single target. I was like, this is silly. This is absolutely silly. So we go from this to this. And, do you like this? And look, the void crawlers aren't that bad to build around. You can swap on despair and put on zealotry and really just have them go to town. But again, they just kind of lack single target, even with greater volley. You know, it wasn't awful, you can see here. But yeah, you can't see anything actually. I said see here, and you can't actually see what's going on. So, after getting sick of those void crawlers, I ended up finding these Kyrie fire speakers, and they turned out to be pretty cool. They're basically just these melee brawlers who can jump at enemies and then do these attacks that spit out all these little tracking projectiles. Kind of work like Volatile Dead. And I was like, these guys seem kind of interesting. Also, please ignore my loot filter. I haven't actually set one up properly. But trying these guys out, you know, they're doing pretty good. They're not quite clearing like anything crazy. They're probably a little bit worse at clear than the void crawlers, but they seem to have pretty reasonable single target damage. Now, while clearing this map, I also noticed these guys spitting out all the tornadoes. Now, they kind of just look like the standard skeleton cage, like right here, but they are doing a lot of tornadoes. So that got me just a little bit interested. So once I cleared out some of these guys, I went to the old trusty PoE DB and double checked what sort of damage they did. And of course, had to get one as a Spectre. I figured, for the time being, not a big deal if I'm losing one of these fire speakers. But then I moved on. And by moved on, I mean time to use the Sandor slaves and see how stupid I can make these tornadoes. So of course, I raised a few Spectres, changed all my gems around, and went into the next map. Now, what the fuck is this? What is going on? So, I was kind of shocked at this. I didn't actually expect them to do reasonable damage. Obviously just tried swapping gems out just in case Greater Volley wasn't going to work. Turns out it did. So it was better to use than GMP. But, yeah. These guys actually did good damage. But immediately I had one main problem. How do I see? I ended up basically just running through a couple of maps with these guys, but having that issue right there, where I could not see what was on the ground. Now I went back in and decided to clear this map with these guys, and look, they're pretty damn good. Here they are clearing this ritual. Obviously the tight space is going to help just because they hit more stuff, but yeah, I got sick of not being able to see what was on the ground pretty quickly. So, went back to fire speakers. This time with multi-strike. Which, as you can see, makes them spit out a lot of these projectiles. And overall, look, they just end up being a bit better for single target damage. Now, when using these guys for a while, I decided to swap to Anger and Flammability for obvious reason. And I decided I'd just keep using them until something else came up that was going to be a lot better. Because I don't think I really wanted to swap back to Sandor Slaves. They are just way too blinding, even though they probably have more damage than these guys. But yeah, look, these guys were okay. Again, still not great, but they were doing the job. Oops, I lied. the tornadoes are too much fun. Because, honestly, going into fights like this and just having these guys do this sort of thing was kind of ridiculous. Though I ended up learning that playing around the tornadoes was the best way was to convoke away from the boss. Because if they sat on the boss, they didn't use the tornado spin. They just melee attacked. So, that ended up being my strategy. Now, I'm not sure if you would have noticed here, but I also had this other guy. The Demon Herder. So, of course, once again, I had to just swap specters around, rework my entire setup. Not really, I was still using Anger and Flammability, and I just had to put on Spell Echo. Although at this point, I had my 6-link. And, went to the next map, and, these guys were pretty cool. I, found them to be pretty useful. They actually had this really weird issue, though, where, they would sometimes struggle to hit enemies purely because the way that their projectiles kind of scatter. You can see them kind of missing a bunch of the time. Like shooting over enemies as they're moving towards you or other things like that. But, look, they were pretty damn cool. And, I used these guys for a little while, only a few maps, really, until I eventually got into a bulk map where, I finally found Frostbearers. And also, the Forged Warriors I mentioned at the start of the video. Now, I didn't show the fight, but basically did a fully charged Verisium outcrop to get the Forged Warriors here, which actually killed some of my Demon Herders. And I also got the Frostbearers, but I decided to go with these guys just to see how they go. And looked at them, put on multi-strike, and yeah, this is also pretty silly. But, you know, I wasn't sure about damage, but then I saw that rare just kind of melt, and I was like, okay. So, yeah, I've been using these guys since. This setup, I still had Anger and Flammability on too. Like, I hadn't swapped things off, but these guys do base physical converted to cold, which is, why, yeah, I'm on, the old, Hatred and Frostbite now. But yeah, these guys are pretty damn cool. No pun intended. I'm just kidding. Pun definitely intended. So yeah, that's basically where we get to current day gameplay, where these guys just like splooshing water everywhere, and look, it's pretty damn good. Some of these enemies I also try. I know these moon dancers are pretty cool. Could potentially use those. The Tide Callers doing the wave is pretty good, but it's one of those higher cooldown spells. But actually, while I'm here, this is a good opportunity for me to really just grab a Tide Caller in case I want to try those out later. Not Tide Caller. Yeah, Tide Caller. No, Moon Dancer, that's the one. Because I know that those guys do some pretty crazy stuff. Let's see if I can pull it up. Let's go. Here we are. Yep, so we just go POEDB, Moon Dancer. Yep, so the Moon Dancers don't actually melee, they just spit out projectiles, and they also have... Seriously? No. They don't do that aura. I shouldn't have a Spectre version. They don't have this. But yeah, basically all they do here is they just sit there absolutely spitting out projectiles. You can see them doing it all the time. Which sadly I don't have a green slot here to chuck volley on, but I know damn well that they're really good at just clearing like crazy. And a similar kind of setup could be used with the Frostbearers. So maybe I'll give them a go with Frostbearers. Otherwise, the Tide Caller. This is the sort of way I was looking up, you know, ways I can scale the damage of various things. So Yeah, the Tide Caller has this this wave. It does physical damage, convert it to gold. That knocks back enemies. But look, it was relying on a cooldown, and there's pretty crap projectile rather than the Moon Dancers, you know, spamming this stuff out. But yeah, so this is where I'm at. I'm thinking if I start to struggle with damage at all, which these guys don't seem to be, if gearing isn't going to do it, I'm just going to have to swap to Frostbearers, because Frostbearers with Greater Volley, just they're a little bit absurd. I'm curious how good these Moon Dancers are going to be. Now let's get this stuff back on. There we go. But yeah, so these guys definitely been showing off their single target power as well. I'll see if I can find the boss real quick. Yeah, they got pretty good clear. The weird thing is these like water pillars they do. They have two abilities. They got the water pillars, and then they got actual tornadoes. They just drop the tornadoes, which actually kind of summons. You can see health bars on them too. The water pillars end up going to weird spots. Kind of works like volcanic fissure or snaking. Where is Awesome Bismuth? Don't mind the fact I'm barely clearing the map at all. Really just want to show its actual single target damage here. Here we go. I say single target. We got... What the hell is a Wildwood Abomination building here? Anyway, you can see here the water pillars just line the walls. It's actually quite funny. But yep, they kill stuff pretty fast. The actual melee attacks are quite strong, and that was a really big thing. His multi-strike not only makes them create extra water pillars, but it makes their basic attacks stronger, so they are quite good in single target. I also still haven't fixed my loot filter. But yep, that's probably about it. I might mess around these Moon Dancers. God, they look silly. Actually, I might be able to just test. Here we go. Watch me test right now. Let's take this stuff off. Just gonna break everything for a second. Spectre with Greater Volley. Moon Dancer. There we go. Oh, that's so weird. So anyway, I got back in the map. Decided I would just have one Frostbearer for good measure. Yeah. So, let's see how these guys go. You see my trialing live of these things. Yeah, okay, my frame rate doesn't like that. What is Wildwood Abomination? How quickly are you gonna die? Yeah, look, that's pretty good. Yep. Look, already more damage than the other guys. Probably just better to go straight for Frostbearers. Look, I'll keep it where I am. 6 of those guys, 1 Frostbearer. Yeah, I like it. God, my eyes. I'm literally just losing focus while looking at this. But yeah, anyway, I'll consider that at the end of the video. So, I'm gonna leave. I'll potentially give an update when I'm up to red maps and done, and I'll probably get sick of this real fucking fast, but look, seems pretty good. I don't know if I'll do another video before PoE 2 comes out, but yeah, look, if you guys are interested at all, I'm probably going to be streaming live on the day. Got a big group of people. I think we may have 6 players, 1 of every class. Although I don't know if everyone's going to rock up at the time. That'll be the real question. Anyway, have a good one, guys. I'll catch you in the next video.